Good evening, Shabbat Shalom, and happy end of Sukkot. For this video, I would like to do another choose your own ASMR adventure. And so I have these three items, these three themes. We have the apple and the red, pumpkin and orange, lemon and yellow. And so I want you to take a look at these and choose whichever one stands out to you, and then you can go to the timestamp below and have an ASMR experience that is specific to that theme. If you'd like to watch all of them, that is also okay, but I encourage you to pick whichever one stands out most to you. We have the apple, the pumpkin, and the lemon. And choose whichever you would like to choose. If you have selected the apple, then this is your ASMR video. This apple represents a certain set of ideas and themes that could be the theme for your October or autumn season. And we also have this red jar, but we will get back into that in a little bit. First, we are going to focus on the apple. And so to me, the apple represents crisp air, baking on cold days, going for long walks, climbing trees, seeing foliage changing. And so if you've selected the apple, then some themes that you may want to focus on for this season would be to focus on your body and your health, focus on physical movements, and everyone has different physical abilities, so I don't just mean exercise or walking. It's really just moving in ways that feel good to you, paying attention to the food you're eating, the things you're putting in your body, and really just listening to your body. Not that you can't indulge. Maybe you want to make apple crisp, and this is the time to actually make that. But really, just focusing on activities and your body. I would also recommend focusing on activities that you can do with friends or loved ones, maybe visiting a farm, maybe getting people together in some way where you can really share experiences together. And the reason I think the apple represents all of these things, I grew up in New England, and during autumn there are many farms that have apple picking available, and I just really associate fresh apples growing in trees with the crisp air that is so quintessential to autumn in New England. And there's something about the fresh apples and the crispness of the air that really make me think about my body and physical movement and health. And so if you chose the apple, if it stood out to you, maybe there's something that in this theme that you should focus on for this season. But if not, that's okay too. You can just use this video as a way to relax. You don't have to take what I'm saying seriously. I just like the idea of having a theme for these different objects. But I hope that maybe you've gotten something out of this. And I think this is a pretty apple. And so now we're going to bring the red jar back out. The red represents the apple. And so I'm going to be shaking this jar around. While I do that, I want you to think of an intention you can set for yourself for this season. The intention can be related to all the themes we talked about with the apple, like physical movement and health and activities, or it can be something else entirely. Look at the reflection on the lid, the way it reflects light, and have your intention ready. Okay, so we're going to open this jar, and I'm going to hold up the jar to you, and I want you to whisper your intentions into the jar. Whisper your intentions into the jar. Whisper. Okay, very good. And now we're going to give that jar another shake. We're going to activate those intentions. And so here you have a visual for your intentions, a place where you have named them and placed them and you can see them. And I hope that you're able to find a way to achieve them. If not, that's okay too. I hope that you enjoyed this Apple ASMR session. You can end the video here, or you can view the other themes as well. It's up to you. But I do hope that you got something out of this, whether it was actual meaning or just a way to relax or a way to get excited about October and the autumn season. Thank you for watching and enjoy the other videos. If you selected the pumpkin, then this is your ASMR experience. The pumpkin will represent certain themes and ideas, which we will get into in just a minute. And we also have this orange jar next to the pumpkin. I'll talk a little bit more about what this jar is and the exercise that we will do. But for now, we are going to focus on the pumpkin and the themes it will represent. So for me, this pumpkin represents things such as movie marathons, visiting farms, driving down rural roads, having soup, 5Ks, and being creative. And so if you selected the pumpkin, then some things you may want to focus on for this autumn season are being creative and making things. This can just be making things for the sake of creation, as that in of itself has meaning. You don't have to have a specific goal in mind. It could be arts and crafts, it could be decorating your room or your home, it could be baking or cooking. I would also recommend maybe baking and sharing those baked goods with friends or coworkers or whomever. Having friends over for a movie night would be nice as well. And the reason why I associate the pumpkin with these themes is that I grew up in New England and there were a lot of farms. During the autumn season, you could go and pick pumpkins. It seems like a lot of people would, decorate with pumpkins, have them out in front of their home, and it really just added to the fall and autumn experience. I really like all the colors and decorations that are associated with this time of the year. There's something that feels cozy and familiar about it, and so I really like that. And I also think pumpkins kind of represent a finiteness because they really only come out during a certain time of year. People use them during a certain time of year, and so it makes me think that it's a really special time that isn't always around and you can't take it for granted. I also think that the pumpkin seeds, when they're roasted and salted, they taste really great, especially if you do it at home. And so those are the themes that this pumpkin represents. I hope that maybe something about this resonated with you since you selected the pumpkin. You certainly don't have to go with these themes. You don't have to hold yourself to these ideas. And so now we have the jar. The orange represents the orange pumpkin. And so I'm going to be shaking the jar around, and while I'm shaking it, I want you to listen to the sounds, and I want you to set an intention for yourself for this season. The intention could be related to the pumpkin and what we discussed, or it could be something else entirely. I just hope that you have something that you can maybe focus on and try to attain. But if you don't, that's okay too. Okay, so I'm going to open the jar now. And I'm going to hold the jar up to you. And so I want you to whisper your intentions into the jar. Whisper your intentions into the jar. Whisper. Okay, very good. I'm going to close the jar and I'm going to shake the jar up, activate those intentions, invigorate them. And so here is a visual for your intentions. You've named them, you've placed them somewhere, and maybe now you have something you can focus on for this season. If not, that's okay too. So this was the ASMR experience for the pumpkin. You can end the video here, or if you like, you can take a look at the other ASMR experience options that were there at the beginning of the video and take a look at those as well. But do keep in mind that you selected the pumpkin, so maybe there was something that stood out to you, and maybe something about the theme stood out to you. Thank you. If you selected the lemon, then this is your ASMR experience. So we have the lemon, which will represent certain themes and ideas that we will get into in a little bit. And we also have this yellow jar, which we will do an activity with. But we will first focus on the lemon, so we'll put that jar away for now. And so there's a few reasons I selected the lemon. First of all, it is the end of Sukkot. Sukkot is a Jewish holiday. It's about the fall harvest, and the lemon can be sort of a symbol for that holiday, so I thought it would be nice to have. But regardless of Sukkot, I think that the lemon represents a brightness, a hopefulness, energy. And so, if you selected the lemon, then some themes and things you may want to focus on for this season would be change. So, whether that's changing your wardrobe from summer to fall and winter, or finally redecorating your room or home, or just doing something you always wanted to do but never really got around to. Maybe you were afraid or just didn't have the time. I think now is the time to embrace the possibilities that can come with change and try out new things. I think a lemon can be very sour and tart, and so it can be kind of intense on its own, but when you combine it with other flavors while cooking, it can really complement and really be nice. Acidity can really be needed in certain dishes, and so similar to that, trying new experiences and experiencing change can be a bit off-putting or intense at first, but when you're able to step away and see the bigger picture and how it all fits in with your life, I think that change and new experiences can sometimes be a blessing. It can be something that really enhances your life, gives you new experiences, adds depth to your story and your experiences. And so if you selected the lemon, then maybe some of these themes mean something to you. Maybe these are some things that you can focus on for this season. You really don't have to, though, if you just want to listen to this video for ASMR purposes only and just help you relax. That's okay too. But you did select the lemon. There was something about it that really stood out to you. So just keep that in mind and maybe find your own meaning in what the lemon can represent. But I certainly thought it would be nice to include, even though it doesn't seem like a fall fruit. I think it fits for these themes. And so now we have the yellow jar. The yellow represents the lemon. And so I'm going to be shaking the jar around. And when I do that, I want you to think of an intention you can set for yourself for this season. It could be related to the themes we talked about with the lemon, or it can be other intentions unrelated to what we discussed. Listen to the sound of the jar as it shakes. Listen to the tapping and the shaking. And so I'm going to open this jar and hold it up to you. And now I want you to whisper your intentions into the jar. Whisper your intentions into the jar. Whisper. Very good. And now we're going to close the jar and we're going to give it another shake to activate those intentions, invigorate them. And now you have a visual for your intentions. You've named them, you've placed them somewhere, and hopefully you can obtain them. If you don't, that's okay as well. This will conclude the lemon ASMR experience. If you would like, you can go through the video and look at the other ASMR experiences and see what those themes were. But do keep in mind that you did select the lemon, and so maybe there was something that the lemon meant for you, and something related to the themes that we discussed. Thank you for watching this and enjoy the other videos. Thank you for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, please like and comment below. Please subscribe to my channel. I put out videos almost every week. And as always, Toda Rabah, Laila Tov. Thank you very much and good night.